Hello, what is up everyone? I'm back today with another core video as promised, and the core that I'm going to be exploring today is Alolan Marowak and Urishifu. Now this core is very good, and that's for a number of reasons. First of all, and the most obvious I think, is that this core is just incredibly hard to switch into. Urishifu hits crazy strong with moves such as Wicked Blow that always crit, and if you didn't know, Marowak got a new access to a physical ghost move called Poltergeist, which just hits incredibly hard. And another reason why this core is pretty good is that it has very good defensive synergy on Marowak's ghost side and Urishifu's dark side. They go together quite well, just because if any fighting or fairy moves come for Urishifu, then Marowak can switch in, and similarly if any ghost or dark moves come for Marowak, then Urishifu can tank those and then start hitting from there. And these typings, dark and ghost, double up as really good offensive typings because there's not too many resistances to them as a whole in the metagame, and their secondary typings, fighting and fire respectively, are also really good offensive moves. So this makes this core very hard to switch into overall. And with that being said, let's get right into the weaknesses of the core. Okay, so concerning the weaknesses of this core, there's not actually too many because of the defensive typing synergy that the core already does have, and it's already quite solid. The weaknesses that are apparent though fall more on Marowak's side, and this because Marowak is weak to ground, and obviously Urishifu doesn't resist that. Also, Marowaks don't tend to run heavy duty boots, they run thick clubs, so hazards can be quite problematic for the core. An easy and quick remedy to this is to run this core alongside something like Corviknight, which would instantly give you a ground immunity and with default give you hazard remover, and it also gets U-turns, so using it wouldn't lose you any momentum, and you'd still be able to keep up offensive pressure. Another thing that is annoying for the core are pivots, such as particularly Toxapex, because Toxapex will be able to switch into Urishifu, see what move Urishifu wants to lock itself into, and then switch right back out. And obviously Marowak doesn't directly threaten Toxapex and can't switch directly in at the risk of getting poisoned or scalded or something like that. Another annoying issue, well, a small annoying issue for the core, is something like Hippowdon, which would be able to tank any one hit and deal back significant damage, even killing Marowak, and doing enough to, doing a significant amount to Urishifu to warrant an annoyance to the core. But anyway, I'm going to show you a sample team soon, and hopefully you can get an idea of how a team with this core should look like. Okay, so these are the sets that I personally like to run on Urishifu and Marowak. On Urishifu, I prefer running Choice Band, but you don't have to run Choice Band. Either Choice Scarf or Metronome work really well. I particularly like Metronome just because of Unseen Fist, meaning Protect won't be able to reset any of your Metronome boosts, which is always nice. This set is pretty self-explanatory. Close Combat and Wicked Blow are just strong stab moves that it runs. U-turn is to pivot in, well, it's mainly for Marowak so that you can U-turn and get it in safely. And Poison Jab is just to hit Clefable for good damage. And the EVs are fairly straightforward. It's just max attack and max speed with a Jolly Nature. Now, Marowak is Thick Club and Lightning Rod. Thick Club is obviously to double its attack, and Lightning Rod is really nice just so you can switch into things like Rotom Heat, and just being able to stop Volt Switch in general is always nice, so it kind of like doubles up as a ground type, which is quite nice. And getting into the moveset, I like running Stealth Rock on my Marowaks. You can run Swords Dance, I just feel like Marowak is too slow to utilize Swords Dance to its fullest potential, so that's why I run Stealth Rocks. And Poltergeist is obviously just a strong physical ghost stab, 110 power, so it hits like a truck. Earthquake, it's just a good ground coverage to hit Toxapex. You can run Bone Meringue, but I don't really like running it just because it is 90 accuracy. And I do have a weird tendency to miss moves that are only 90%. Last move is just a Fire Stab, Fire Punch. You can run Flare Blitz. I am just not a fan of taking the recoil, so that's why I opted for Fire Punch. As for the EVs, it's just max attack and max speed, similar to Urishifu. I have an Adamant Nature, so it's plus attack, just because I think Marowak is pretty slow, so having a Jolly Nature, I think you hit 209, it doesn't really benefit you too much. And you could potentially even take away some speed from this, but I feel like if you take away speed from this 189 right now, you run the risk of being slower than some walls, and that's not really something you want. But anyway, those are the sets. I'm gonna get into the team right now. So this is an example of a team that I'd use with the core. Corviknight, obviously to get rid of hazards. Also, something that I forgot to mention earlier is because Marowak gets access to Lightning Rod, it acts as an electric resist for Corviknight, so that's just a further bit of defensive synergy that overall helps the team. I'm running Slowbro mainly for Cinderace, but Cinderace is a little bit peak at the minute, I'm not gonna lie. But if they are running Electro Ball, then Marowak can potentially wall it, or Clefable can. But if they're any other set that isn't Electro Ball Cinderace, then Slowbro can usually handle it. Now, you're probably looking at Slowbro and wondering why there's no item. The reason I'm running no item on Slowbro is because there's tons of Poltergeist Marowak everywhere, and there's really no switch-ins, so I felt like as long as Marowak does not have Poltergeist, Slowbro can switch in just fine, as Poltergeist will fail, and then obviously its Fire move and Ground move are not going to do anything to Slowbro, and it can just scare it out with the Scald. And Clefable is mainly here for Urishifu and as another win condition. As you can see, it's Calm Mind, Life Orb with Thunder. Thunder helps me pressure stuff like Slowbro, other Slowbro, and Toxapex for the team, as well as paralyzing other Clefable with Thunder, and then beating them one-on-one with Calm Mind, which is very nice. Now, Terrakion is just to patch up a little speed issue with the team. I needed some speed, and it also helps with stuff like Rotom Heat and Volcarona, so that Marowak isn't overwhelmed by them, or if hazards are up and I haven't had a chance to remove them, and things like that. But yeah, the team is pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Feel free to use it. I'll put the link in the description. Anyway, thank you guys for watching my core video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have success with the core. Let me know how it goes in the comments. I'm always interested to hear what kind of builds have been made with it. But yeah, drop a like, drop a sub, and peace.